girls, it's Al from AllieLemus.com. You can also reach me at my Gmail at teachwithal@gmail.com. Today I have a video for you of all of my 100% honest pros and cons for working for the online ESL company Vipkid. I have been a Vipkid teacher for 4 years now. I also coach others through the application process. I absolutely love doing so. If by the end of this video, applying to Vipkid is something you are still interested in doing, then I can help you through that application. Just make sure that you apply using my referral link or code linked down below in the description box. And after you do that, send me an email at teachwithal@gmail.com and I can get you all of my helpful resources to applying to Vipkid. First, we're going to start with the pros and end with the cons today. My number one pro for working for Vipkid would be the flexibility. I absolutely love the flexibility that this job offers because I am a stay-at-home mom and my life can be a little crazy. So being able to completely set a schedule that works for me personally and my family is amazing. Right now I work while my kids sleep, so I work in the mornings while they're still asleep, and then by the time that I am finished working, they are up. It works magically. There's some days that they wake up a little bit earlier and we work with that. But most of the time it's just the perfect schedule. I also work at nighttime after I put them to bed. So really great on the flexibility aspect. There's no minimum or maximum hours that you have to work. So that's really nice to be able to not feel that pressure of you have to meet these hours to keep this job. So I love that about the job, especially being a mom. Your schedule just changes. The second pro would be the relationships. I love that I get to work for a company that has allowed me to develop these beautiful relationships with these sweet kids across the world in China. It really is amazing because I'm not only developing relationships with them, but also with their moms. And many times we will cheer each other on through life. I recently had my second child and I sent a picture to one of my students' moms and she was so happy. She was like, I'm tearing up, I'm so happy for you. And being able to help these children grow in their education in English and have them be so excited to see me every week, it really just pumps you up, especially if you work in the morning like I do. It can be hard waking up in the morning, but knowing that you're waking up to these little kids that are so excited to see you and they've waited all week to have your class, it's fun. My next pro would be that the work is pretty easy for the money. So what I mean by that is that it's not taxing to perform this job. It's not something that completely drains me and I don't want to do. It's joyful and it's easy, and it's just really, like I said before, about building the relationships with the students and the parents while teaching them with good ESL teaching skills. But I just love that it's not something that drags me down. It's not taxing, it's a fun job, and it's really easy. I also love that when I'm done, I'm done. I finish teaching in the morning and I'm done for the whole day. It's not a job where I have to continually be thinking about it, if that makes sense. So when I'm done, I'm done. After I finish putting in my feedback, which does not take long at all, I'm done for the rest of the day and I go do mom stuff all day long. All right, moving right on to the cons. My number one con are the early mornings. Wow, the early mornings can be killer sometimes. I'm just gonna keep it real. They can be really hard, especially if you stayed up too late watching your favorite TV show, like I always do, or your baby got up 5 times in the middle of the night. Does that ever happen to you guys? Yeah, it's killer when you have to get up at 5. You cannot miss that class. You have got to be there for it. Can be really hard. The way I combat that is to make sure that I'm going to bed on time, which I need to work on, but I have gotten a lot better at it. You don't have to always work mornings. Like, there are people that have built up their schedule to be nights, like all night. My second con is the VIP Kid no-show or cancellation policy. They are extremely strict with this. You only have 6 chances to miss or cancel a class, and if you miss or cancel again on the 7th time, you are fired, and you have to completely reapply with a new email and hopefully get hired, which I've seen people do. I've seen plenty of people do this. So you can reapply and probably get hired because you've already been a teacher and you know how everything works through the application. But yeah, you'll be fired. So don't miss that 7th class. I want to break down the 2 tiers that VIP Kid uses for cancellations and no-shows. The first tier is like life or death situations. Obviously, if something huge happens in your life, and this is sad to talk about, but if like somebody dies or somebody is extremely ill in like the emergency room, things like that, they will definitely excuse you for, but you do have to provide documentation. So you have to send a screenshot. It's really easy to do, but you have to send a screenshot of the doctor's note, the visit, anything to document what happened. And so they will completely excuse this. Now, I gave birth early with my son, so I missed 2 weeks of classes, and I don't recommend doing this, but it happened, and VIP Kid was amazing working with me. They didn't even bat an eye. Like, I sent in the documentation, and 100% they covered all those, excused all of them. I was totally fine. Anyways, moving on to the second tier, which are, these are cancellations that maybe you were sick and had to go to the doctor, like with strep throat, or your child got really sick, you had to take them to the doctor. Yeah, just anything that's basically not life or death, but that you can provide documentation for that you needed to have covered. So another example of this is I had an eye exam that I totally forgot that I had a class booked for, like during, and I realized halfway through the visit that I had a class booked but I was missing, and I didn't provide any like heads up to VIP Kid, and I felt so bad about it. But I was able to just screenshot my doctor's visit. My eye doctor gave me a note that said that I needed to be excused during this time, sent it to them, and they completely covered it. So they will work with you, you know, for things like that should be excused. But here's the hard part. So say that you woke up and you just had a bad cold, but you don't want to go into the doctor because you know it's just a cold, it's just gonna go away. You can't miss class. Like, it's so hard because you're like, you do feel really sick, but you have to go to class because you want to save your cancellations for like if you really need to use them. The next con is one I wanted to mention that didn't really personally apply to me, but I have heard has applied to other new hires and new teachers for VIP Kid. And that is that it can take a little bit of time to build up your schedule of teaching to what you are happy with. So when you first become a teacher, you will open up slots to be booked, and you'll just pick whenever you want to open the slots up and hope that a parent will book that slot or a student will book that slot and that you can teach it and get paid for it. Now, when I first got hired and I opened up slots, I was lucky enough to get them all booked out within like the 2nd week. So really quickly I booked out all those, and I've been booked ever since, and I've never had a problem with getting my slots booked. But when you're first starting out, like, nobody knows you, you're new. So you have to kind of build that authority, and doing that is opening up your slots and hopefully getting them booked, and then teaching well so that people want to keep booking you. So I always tell all of my referrals, Don't expect to have your schedule completely booked in the first month, okay? It'll slowly get there. Like, you're not going to see nothing and then all of a sudden fully booked the second month. It'll slowly get there over time, but it can take 1 to 2-ish months for that to happen. Or there's plenty of people where it happens right away. Like for myself, for a lot of my referrals, it has happened like pretty quickly after getting hired. They've built up a very good schedule for themselves. So I just want to say that as a con, because it can be really frustrating for you to get hired for a company you've worked so hard to get hired for, because the application isn't necessarily easy for VIPKid. It can be pretty taxing. The job isn't, but the application is. Just remember, it can take a little bit of time to build up that schedule, but if you keep with it, I promise you it's going to build, and you're gonna get those bookings, and it's gonna be where you want it, the times that you want, and you're gonna be really happy with it. You just have to keep with it, keep opening up slots, and teaching your heart out, and it's gonna be fine. All right, the next con that I do want to address is VIPKid's growth, and along with that, changes. So recently, VIPKid has been making some changes, including teachers that are applying and veteran teachers. And these changes, I totally understand when I think about them, because VIPKid is growing and expanding, and with that, they have to make changes to accommodate that. And I totally get that from a business perspective, but some of those changes can be just a little bit hard for the employees and future people applying. Just because, for one, it's hard to keep up with these changes that are constantly happening, and being able to coach people through the process like I do and make sure that I'm hitting every change that they're making. I try really hard to do this and be completely honest and give you the information that you need. So I try to stay up on those changes, but they've been happening a lot lately. I feel like they go through like little spurts of like changes, and then no changes for a long time, and then a few changes. So anyways, I get it. It's has to happen. But it's just as hard when things get changed up on you. Like, think about any aspect of life. Like, you're used to it being a certain way, and then a change comes, and you're like, what? At least for me. Maybe you're not like me, but I don't handle change well. My husband laughs because I really don't. So I've been having to learn to roll with the changes and be a little more flexible. Okay, my next con is negative parent feedback. This one will really ruin your day when you get it. Let me explain it. So as a VIPKid teacher, you will get apples, okay? 5 apples means you're an excellent teacher. 3 apples means you're okay. 2 apples or 1 apple means that the parent and student was not satisfied at all with your lesson. So it's really hard when you get negative parent feedback. I have received negative parent feedback before. I don't know any teacher that has taught as much as I have that hasn't received any sort of negative or okay parent feedback. I do teach a lot, and I've taught for a long time. So it was bound to happen because we're not all perfect. I have to keep telling myself that. You can also request to have it reviewed, which I have done on the 2 negative parent feedbacks I received. One of them was invalidated, which means that VIPKid didn't agree with what the parent said. They basically rewatch your class and take notes and try to see like where the parent was coming from. And if they can't see where they were coming from, then they will invalidate the feedback and say, no, you did a great job. Yeah, we think they're crazy. No, just kidding. They just don't validate what they were saying. The other is validated parent feedback, meaning that they validated it. They didn't think you did a good job. They think that you could have done better in these areas. And that is really hard to get that, because I really do put so much into my teaching, and I love it so much, and I do love my students. And so when I got that feedback, I didn't agree with it, and I was like, no, I did great. I did fine. Like, I hit everything I was supposed to. But when I did rewatch the video and really try to look at where the parent was coming from, I was like, yep, they're right. So anyways, I just tried to learn from that negative parent feedback I got and try to improve. And it has helped me in the long run. And I do feel like I'm a better teacher for it, but it was really hard to get it. My invalidated feedback, meaning that VIP kid did not agree with the parent, is still on my record. I hate this about it because it never goes off your record even though it wasn't true. Because even if a 12-year-old went and wrote negative parent feedback, they still don't take it off. So that I really don't like. But like I said, it's whatever. You just have to move past it and realize that you have thousands of 5 Apple feedback saying you're an excellent teacher. I love you so much, Teacher Allie, that you just have to focus on the good and then take the bad with a grain of salt and try to improve on what you can. All right, you heard it, my completely honest pros and cons of working for VIP Kid. So why have I stuck around for 4 years? Well, it's because I absolutely love this job, you guys. I get a little teary-eyed every time I think about it because this job came into my life at a crucial time. It was exactly what I needed. It was an answer to my prayers, and it's been a huge blessing for my family and for myself. I love it. The pros completely outweigh the cons. If you're still interested in applying for this company, make sure that you use my referral link or code link down below in the description box. Click and start the application, and then send me an email at teachwithal@gmail.com, and I will get you all of my helpful resources in successfully getting you hired as a VIP Kid teacher. I can't wait to meet you. Now, if this was helpful to you in any way, let me know in the comments. Also, like this video, I would really appreciate it, and subscribe so you can see more videos that I make. All right, bye-bye.